Jacko sponsors the National League on BT Sport.
Hello everybody, welcome along to our first roundup programme of 2016 from the Vanarama National League. Half an hour jam-packed with all the key incidents from the latest round of fixtures, which this weekend kicked off in the Cotswolds as Forest Green Rovers looked to keep up the pressure at the top of the table and visitors Torquay United needed vital points at the bottom. Plenty more from that game coming up and loads more besides. There's no stopping Southport as they make it 6 wins in a row. Macclesfield are up to 5th after victory at Tranmere. And it's match abandoned at Dover as the heavens open. We start at Southport, whose revival since Dino Marmia took over as manager has been nothing less than remarkable. They came into this one on a run of 5 successive wins, while Wrexham were looking to avenge their 1-0 defeat by Marmia's men on Boxing Day, and it was the visitors who drew first blood. Robbie Evans did well to break through the home defence before cutting back for Wes York to score his 8th goal of the campaign. Southport responded and almost equalised after Adam Blakeman linked well with Paul Rutherford, but goalkeeper Rhys Taylor was equal to the shot. And the home side were almost gifted an equaliser when Jamal Fifield played a woeful back pass to Taylor, but the keeper cleared the ball just before it crossed the line. Louis Armand has been pivotal to Southport's resurgence with 4 goals in his last 5 games, and he levelled matters just before half-time with that well-struck 20-yarder. 6 minutes into the second half, Southport took the lead. Luke Foster rose highest from a Rutherford corner to score his 2nd goal of the season. Wrexham boss Gary Mills made a double substitution after 70 minutes, bringing on Dominic Vose and James Gray, and it paid off within 60 seconds. Vose with a corner, Gray with his 7th of the season. But with 5 minutes left on the clock, Fifield had another moment of madness, bundling over Armand in the box, penalty to Southport. Armand picked himself up to score his 9th goal of the campaign. Wrexham, facing a 3rd straight defeat, did rally through York, but Max Crocombe was on hand to secure the win. That's a record equalling 6 wins out of 6 for Southport, and Dino Marmia clearly delighted to welcome in the new year with 3 points.
It's a very happy result. We had a difficult week, really difficult week. Last couple of days we didn't have all our team in the training ground, but today we bounced back against adversity, and I thought we showed great spirit to win the game.
Tranmere Rovers came into the new year hoping for a change in fortune at Prenton Park, where they'd already lost 5 times this season, but they faced a tough opposition. Macclesfield in red had won 4 of their last 5 on the road. The deadlock was broken on the half-hour mark. A wayward shot from David Fitzpatrick found its way to Chris Holroyd, who rolled it back for Jack Sampson to give the visitors the lead. Macclesfield had been forced to make a change of goalkeeper after 10 minutes. Richie Brannigan quickly proving his worth after replacing the injured Shwan Jalal. Tranmere went close again through substitute Cole Stockton, but Brannigan was again alert to the threat to keep the home side at bay. Gary Brabbin's men were knocking on the door, and the Rovers manager thought they'd rescued a point at the death. Captain Steve Jennings hammering the ball into the roof of the net, but the goal was disallowed for offside. Some more home disappointment for Tranmere, who are now 9th in the table, but delight for John Askey's Macclesfield as they move into the playoff spots.
It was a hard-fought win. Rode a luck at times, but it's not an easy place to come, and really pleased with the efforts that the players have put in, and obviously it puts us in a good position now. We just snicked into the playoffs, so it's been a good Christmas for us.
Guiseley were playing at Blundell Park for the first time in a league fixture and found themselves up against a Grimsby side in red-hot form. They were on a run of 6 straight wins and hadn't conceded a goal in their previous 4. But Paul Hurst's side found it tough to break down a stubborn Guiseley defence in the first half. Their best effort coming from Omar Bogle, whose shot was dragged wide of Stephen Drench's goal. The visitors were content to soak up the pressure and hit Grimsby on the break, and they landed a classic sucker punch 5 minutes before half-time with that scintillating strike from Oliver Norburn. An absolute perler of a half volley from the former Bristol Rovers midfielder, and one that most definitely deserves a replay. The home side were limited to a handful of half chances, but almost equalised by Josh Gowling, but again Drench happy to see the ball drift wide. Grimsby's efforts were eventually rewarded after 72 minutes. Porrick Amend latching onto a poor defensive header to level the match. That's his 17th of the season. He scored in Grimsby's last 5 league games. With time ticking away, Grimsby should have taken the lead through Omar Bogle, who had a host of chances but was twice denied by Drench. His second, this effort from distance. A hard-earned point then for Mark Bowe's Guiseley, but Paul Hurst left to rue a whole raft of missed chances.
I think we've had a hell of a lot of the ball. You know, we've come up against a Guiseley team that have been very disciplined and came with a game plan. They had the added bonus of a fantastic strike in the first half. So the lads have had to show character, and you know it's not easy to play against when a team comes in and does that. We got the goal and was just hoping that we could kick on and get the winner, but it wasn't to be. But it's, you know, another game, a point gained in some respects, albeit before the game. We're obviously looking to claim all 3.
If you'd have offered us a point before we got here, we'd have taken it. You know, having been in front and sort of frustrating Grimsby and the game plan working how we wanted it to. You know, a little bit disappointed that we've not come away with 3 points, but like I say, offered us that before and we'd have taken it.
Lincoln City travelled to the Shea without a win in 6, a sharp contrast to Halifax, who despite their position in the relegation places were unbeaten in 6 and defeated their visitors 1-0 at Sincil Bank on Boxing Day. Halifax started the game the better side, Kevin Roberts testing the gloves of Paul Farman early on. But it was Lincoln who opened the scoring on the 16th minute. A defensive header landed at Craig Stanley's feet and he blasted the ball into the net. The hosts lost 14 of their opening 20 matches, but there's resilience to this side now, and they levelled matters 10 minutes later. Sean Tooton's strike deflected past Farman. That's his 9th of the campaign. The equaliser galvanised Halifax, and they almost took the lead when Tooton turned provider for Nicky Rowe, but the midfielder's shot was just wide of the post. Farman had to be on guard when Halifax broke through again. His save was eventually turned back into the box for Kevin Roberts, but he failed to convert as the sides went into the break level. In the second half, Hamza Ben Sharif had a moment he'll happily forget. This dreadful back pass provided Liam Hearn with the chance to give Lincoln the lead, and the striker duly obliged. That's his 9th league goal this season, his first since returning on loan from Barrow. But there was still time for some late drama. After a spot of pinball in the Lincoln box, it landed at the feet of Kingsley James, and his strike made sure the points were shared. Halifax created 19 chances compared to Lincoln's 2, but manager Harvey was happy with a point.
A very exciting game. I think for the first time perhaps since I've been in charge, we've gone behind twice, and we had to show a little bit of character to get back into the game, and so it was good to see that we had that character, and we had it in abundance really. We came back very strongly and you know, deserved the draw, if not maybe a little bit more.
The National League games at Cheltenham, Eastleigh and Braintree fell foul of the weather on Saturday morning, but everything looked set fair as referee Craig Hicks led the teams out at Dover. That, though, was soon to change as torrential rain arrived on the Kent coast. The first chance of the game fell for the home side, Nicky Deverdix making space for himself on the right before unleashing a shot that went over the bar. Welling have slipped into the relegation places of late, but almost took the lead when Sar Kaba broke into the box and squeezed the ball past goalkeeper Andy Rafferty. But before it could cross the line, Sean Raggett came to the rescue. The visitors pressed for an opener, and Ricky Wellard's cross landed perfectly for George Porter, but his header was well saved by Rafferty. It was end-to-end in the first half, and as the heavens opened and the rain swirled, Dover went close again. Toby Ajala rounding the goalkeeper, but couldn't direct his shot on target. The rain continued as Dover took charge of the game. Deverdix found Ricky Miller, whose cross-come shot almost saw Raggett bundle the ball into the net. The pitch got heavier and heavier in the second half, but play continued and Welling almost took the lead through Porter. Rafferty denied the striker again. But with conditions worsening by the minute, the pitch was now becoming unplayable. And midway through the second half, referee Hicks called a halt. And after a discussion with both benches, he bowed to the inevitable and abandoned the game. Revenge was in the air at the New Lawn on New Year's Day as Forest Green Rovers looked to make up for their shock 4-1 Boxing Day defeat at the hands of Torquay United. Commentary from Adam Virgo and Adam Somerton.
Verma has just opened up in front of him a little bit here. Now Tyrone Marsh. Verma's continued his run. He tried to surprise the goalkeeper at the near post there.
Well, it's a wonderful strike from Marsh just in these conditions where it really moves left and right. For the goalkeeper, Arnold, you just need to palm it away.
Here's Verma, though, for Torquay United, who offer an attacking threat of their own. Marsh, overlapping run here is by Butler, who has right in the middle, and a chance, and they've scored! 2.5 minutes into the second half. It is Verma who puts Torquay United in front. Really good finish. Difficult for him it was.
Now he just comes into the area and they switch off Forest Green. And that's what you need. Players running across the box. It's a great goal. It's a wonderful ball in. It really is.
It's a dangerous ball in, and it's the equalising goal. Well, how fortunate was it? Great delivery in there. Guthrie was the man, fresh on as a substitute. It was the presence inside the area, but just for a moment, Torquay United switched off at the bat. They've defended so well, the goals. Got themselves in front. Now Forest Green are on terms.
Well, we saw in the first half that deliveries were very difficult. Would there be a case for an offside? Guthrie makes that run across. And he's just left with that free touch. He actually comes off Ben Gearin in the end.
Marsh Brown to pull over the cross into a great area. It's free out. Oh, it's just wide. The referee's given a penalty. Berry it was, who's handled inside the area. Big call for the referee. The protest being led by Berry. Key moment. Up against Lavaca. And he scored! Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. It was a composed, confident penalty from a man with Premier League experience in Darren Carter. They've come from behind, Forest Green. They've shown their character. They're proving their title credentials.
Well, it's a massive goal, isn't it? At this stage of the game. Cool and composed. Carter.
Now Marsh Brown driving towards goal. Still Marsh Brown. It's a wonderful effort. It's a fantastic goal. That's why he believes he can play as high as the Premier League. An absolute wonderful Wonderful finish from Keanu Marsh-Brown. The points of Forest Green's now, there's no doubt about that.
Well, I spoke about his qualities, that he can score from 25 yards with the quality. And he cuts inside. He's given so much time. You just see that bend.
We just couldn't get it going. We couldn't get any of our passing game going, any flow to it, any rhythm. And again, it was down to them, being in our faces and being organised. And we knew it may take till sort of the latter stages of the game to win it. And I'm glad that we stuck at it. Reds didn't go down when we went one down, and it was a great reaction, so a great win for us.
Sometimes you have to win ugly. The pitch is obviously very soft, as you can see, but they've made it really hard for us, and they've been making that hard. Obviously, Cheltenham had a tough game the other day on the 28th, so we know it's going to be difficult. But I'm really chuffed at the 3 points. It's a big 3 point set for us.
I don't moan at refs. I've made a point of not doing, and the ref's a good guy. I've spoke to him, but it wasn't a penalty. I mean, I've not seen it back, so you might tell me differently. Nobody knew what he'd given, and it's a huge turning point in the game, because at that point I think we'd have got a deserved point, really. So I'm very disappointed, but I'm disappointed for the lads, because they put, with very few players fit, with players playing out of position, I thought they were magnificent for me. I thought they worked incredibly hard, and the least they deserved was a point today.
It was the second local derby in 7 days between Woking and Aldershot. Not far for the visitors to travel, just 12 miles in fact. The Shot suffered a 1-0 defeat at the Recreation Ground on Boxing Day, so the supporters would have been expecting a reaction. But it was Woking who drew first blood. Two defenders couldn't stop John Goddard from getting his cross in, and Joe Quigley made 3 goals in his last 5 games. The man on loan from Bournemouth endearing himself to the home fans. Barry Smith's men had enjoyed just 1 win in the last 10 matches, but thought they'd found an equaliser. Top scorer Charlie Walker's header bringing the best out of Woking's Jake Cole. Anything Cole can do, Aldershot's keeper Phil Smith can still do at 36 years of age, keeping out Goddard's free kick. Gary Hillside are in red-hot form, having lost just 1 of the previous 7, and they doubled their advantage on the stroke of half-time. Quigley turning provider this time, returning the favour to Goddard, who notched his 13th goal of the season. 2-0 Woking at the interval. Aldershot were much improved in the second half and ensured a grandstand finish with a quarter of an hour to play. Jim Stevenson's shot parried by Cole, Reece Brown on hand to dispatch just his 3rd of the campaign. And Aldershot's biggest chance to equalise came 5 minutes from time. Walker's early season form deserting him right now as he fired against the crossbar. Woking winners again, a derby double for the Surrey side.
It was our day. We might have had a little bit of luck in the last 5 or 10 minutes, because there was opportunities where I see the ball whizzing across our penalty area where we were defending, and without doubt it was very scary. 2 wins against your local rivals, 2 big derbies over the last week, and to win home and away is a tremendous achievement, and we're going very well at the moment.
Chester hosted Altrincham after the reverse fixture at Moss Lane was postponed on Boxing Day. Victory would help to ease both teams' relegation fears. Neither the home side nor the visitors can buy a clean sheet of late, so goals seemed inevitable. Altrincham's Michael Rankin rattling the woodwork early on. Steve Burr's boys had won just 1 of their previous 7 games and were pushing hard for the opening goal. Top scorer Ross Hannah crossing from the left. Danny Hattersley's header cleared off the line by Steve Leather. And it was Chester who broke the deadlock after 20 minutes. Hannah was in no hurry as he calmly dispatched the opener. 13 for Hannah this season. He scored 10 of Chester's last 12 goals. Where would they be without him? Altrincham had tasted victory just twice in their previous 11 matches, and they could have been 2 down just after half-time. Johnny Hunt's effort parried away by keeper Tim Deasy. And the save proved crucial as the away side drew level on the hour mark. Jordan Sinnott's hopeful cross wasn't dealt with by Chester's John Worsnop. Rankin powering home his 6th goal of the season, his 1st since October. The hosts were agonisingly close to a winner as Hannah hit the post from a matter of yards, but it ended all square, leaving both sides to reflect on the season so far.
We'd ideally like to be sat here with 10, 15 more points than we're actually on. We're not, but we believe that the football that we're playing is good, attractive football. We're passing the ball around, we're creating chances, so if we can keep creating the chances, I'm sure sooner or later we're going to score goals.
It's very similar to, almost identical to where we were at last season, and that's where we're at, and it's not where we want to settle, but in terms of this football club and its progress and where it is as a Phoenix club, it's important to have the stability to be in this level and to be in this league. So in terms, if you look at it from that point of view, it's good.
Take 2 for Gateshead and Barrow as well, whose proposed fixture at Holker Street on Boxing Day was also called off due to the weather. Conditions were deemed playable on Tyneside, but it was definitely a day to try a look from long range. Barrow's David Mellor forcing an awkward save out of Sam Russell. This was the 4th match in succession that Gateshead had played at home. They were looking for just their 2nd win in that period. CJ Hamilton coming close. The pitch was playing tricks on the players. Gateshead defender James Curtis caught out. Barrow debutant Jordan Williams would probably like to blame the playing surface for that finish. And the hosts were given a golden chance to take the lead 5 minutes before the break. Matty Patterson slipping the ball through for Ryan Bowman, who was brought down by keeper Joel Dixon. Penalty to Gateshead. Top scorer Bowman scored 12 for Torquay last season. That's a dozen goals already in a Gateshead shirt in this campaign. After the interval, a barrage of Barrow pressure. Russell saving spectacularly from Simon Grand's header. And with 6 minutes to play, Paul Cox's team were rewarded with the equaliser. Williams only signed for Barrow on New Year's Eve from Northwich, and just 2 days later, he couldn't have asked for a simpler chance, as Andy Cook's shot deflected into his path. Honours even in the North East, as Barrow scored for the 11th game in a row.
So, at the end of a hectic festive period, Forest Green have closed the gap on leaders Cheltenham to 4 points. Everything to play for as we head into 2016. Grimsby stay 3rd after coming from behind to draw with Guiseley, and Macclesfield are up into the playoff places following their win at Tranmere. Eastleigh take on Bolton Wanderers in the FA Cup 3rd round next weekend and might be grateful for the extra time off after their game with Bromley was postponed. Southport, who looked odds-on to be relegated less than a couple of months ago, are now comfortably mid-table after their remarkable run of 6 straight wins. Halifax were 10 points adrift of safety at one stage, but they too are putting up a mighty fight for survival. Like the race for promotion, the battle to avoid the drop looks set to go right to the wire. Before we go, a date for your diaries. Make sure you join us on Sunday, January the 24th, as we bring you Dover against Cheltenham, exclusively live on BT Sport 1 from 11:45 a.m.
That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Jacko sponsors the National League on BT Sport.